Today we're with Scott Lewis of the Environmental Health Office for Wayne County. And Scott, you're a supervisor there. And today we're next to a swimming pool here. And where are we, by the way?
We're at the Reserve at Bradbury on New Hope Road here in Goldsboro.
This is a nice condominium environment here. And on New Hope Road, as you mentioned, we're next to the swimming pool. And today we're going to discuss 5 important safety rules around swimming pools.
Yes,
so why is this important and where do we start?
Well, one of the things you'd like to start with, us as inspectors, we come out and do inspections of all the pools here in Wayne County.
Okay.
And I've tried to water this down to 5 points that everybody in the county can feel comfortable with, that whenever they come out to a pool in our county, whether it be here, out of town, out of state, that they can just walk around, get familiar with a pool, and look at some of the safety points of every pool.
Okay, well, let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, the Inspections Department for Wayne County inspects all the swimming pools in Wayne County.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
All the public pools?
Yes, sir.
All right, all the public pools are inspected, and how often do you do that?
We do an opening inspection in April, and we come by and check every pool at least once a year. Our year-round pools we check twice a year.
Twice a year. So what are you looking for?
There's a long list of inspection points that we look at, but today we're just going to talk about 5 points that everybody in the county can get familiar with and walk around and take a look at that anybody could do.
That anybody could do. So you want to make sure that the pool that you're attending is safe?
Yes, sir.
You want to make sure it has all the things that you need to make sure that you have a safe outing?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
correct.
where do we start? What's number 1?
The first thing I was going to talk about was where the emergency phone is located.
Let's walk over here and look at that. Now, all the swimming pools that you inspect, all the public pools are required to have a phone? Is that right?
Yes, sir, that is correct. And I understand that, you know, in this day and age, everyone has a cell phone.
Right.
But we don't always have good cell phone reception,
Right.
low battery, things of that nature could become a problem. Every pool that we have in Wayne County has an emergency telephone located somewhere on the pool deck, or there'll be a sign located that directs you to where the emergency phone is.
Okay, now the sign here says 911 emergency telephone, push button to dial. This phone will auto dial. Please stay on the line and follow the operator's instructions. So this is a direct link to the 911 operator.
Yes, sir. This right here will connect you to an operator. All our emergency phones will have dialing instructions somewhere located around the phone.
Okay.
And we also require that they have an address so that the person, if they're not familiar with the area, can read to the 911 operator and let them know where they're at.
And the sign here says, of course, Reserve at Bradbury Place. That's where we are. And the location, 560 West New Hope Road, Goldsboro, and a local telephone number.
Yes, sir, that's
So
correct.
they're all required to have these phones. All the public pools are required to have these phones.
Yes, sir, that's correct. And if the phone is not visible on the pool deck, there should be a sign that directs you to where the phone is.
Okay. All right, very good. That's important. I hadn't even thought about a phone being nearby. So,
yes, sir.
So what's number 2? Where do we go from here?
The next thing I would do is, if I was a citizen here in Wayne County and I was coming to a pool, whether I was familiar or not, I would come by and take a look, just walk around the pool deck and just look at the water clarity. The first thing about the water clarity would be, can I see the bottom of the pool? And there are various reasons why a pool becomes cloudy and not visible. People adding chemicals to it, imbalance in some of the chemicals that are put in it, that cause it to be cloudy, and you can't see the bottom of the pool. If that's a situation that you notice, you need to alert the people that are running the pool or call environmental health. The main purpose in pool clarity is if a person becomes distressed or has an accident and they're at the bottom of the pool, you won't be able to see them.
Oh, okay.
So visibility and pool clarity is very important with our pools. That's
right.
one of the main items on our sheet that we look for. If a pool is not clear and you cannot see the bottom of the pool, we won't open it or we'll close it.
That's a big problem.
Yes,
you have
sir.
to be able to see the bottom of the pool.
And that also includes nighttime swimming, and that includes the lights that are affixed around the pool and inside the pool. If you go to a pool at night and maybe some of the lights are not working, it causes dark shadows in the pool where you can't visibly see. If someone was to have a problem, you wouldn't be able to locate them.
Okay. All right, that is important. Lights above the pool and in the pool.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Right. So you got to be able to see the bottom. All right. Number 3.
Number 3 would be the drain covers. And as you see, we have 2 drain covers in the bottom of this pool.
Okay.
The first thing that we look for when we come out is we look to see if the drain covers are intact and in good repair. And we have 2 out here. They're easy to see. That goes back to the clarity in the pool. You know, can you see the drain covers? because that's where all the water is being pulled out of the pool
Okay.
into the pump rooms
Okay, it's being pulled out of the pool and it's being filtered in the pump rooms and
returned to the pool.
to the pool.
Yes, sir.
Now there's a certain amount of suction on these.
Yes, sir, and that is one of the biggest things that the state has addressed with suction hazards. North Carolina has a great regulation on all the pools and safety features. There's multiple layers of safety on all our pools, especially the new ones that are being designed today. And these dual drain pools here are very safe. But the one thing that we want to make sure is that the drain covers are in place, intact, not broken, jagged, and everything is in good repair.
Now, where some people may run into a problem, not in North Carolina, but what has happened tragically in the past is that a drain cover was either taken off or removed for whatever reason.
Yes, sir.
And a small person or a child could get stuck on that drain without the cover and not be able to free themselves, and that results in tragedy.
Yes, sir, it does.
Now, we don't have that problem in North Carolina because these drain covers prevent that from happening. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that is their purpose. They are designed to handle 100% of the flow from these pumps that are drawing in on them, and there's also dual pumps. So if one person was to block a drain, the other drain would start working, and then you don't have any suction hazard there.
And that would free the person from that drain.
Correct.
All right, sir. All right, that is important. All right, number 4.
The next item we will talk about is the safety equipment. When you come to a pool, you need to look around the pool deck and locate our safety equipment, which is located on the far side of the pool over here.
Yeah.
You'll see a ring buoy attached to a rope,
Right.
and there's a shepherd's hook. Now, not all pools have these, especially if they have lifeguards. So if you have lifeguards stationed at a pool, you might not see the safety equipment there.
Okay.
Because you can have a lifeguard with not really ring buoys, but they would have like safety tubes, rescue tubes, and
Okay.
they're trained to use those. So whether it be a lifeguard on station or safety equipment, that would be the first thing I'd want to locate whenever I walked into a pool.
Okay, so if a family walks in and there are children involved, or in fact if there's adults involved, you want to make sure you have that safety equipment, locate the safety equipment, easy access to it.
Yes, sir.
Now, what does the law require? Does the law require either safety equipment or a lifeguard, or can you have neither one?
Yes, sir. Most of the time there is either safety equipment or a lifeguard, with the flotation devices that they use, the rescue tubes, things of that nature.
Right.
It can be substituted for some of the safety equipment. But whenever you walk into a pool, identify your safety equipment or lifeguard that's on duty.
Okay, very good. What do you wave at the lifeguard and say, "Hey, I'm here"? Yeah, hey, look, watch me now.
No, well, you really don't have to. But
Because
if
they see you, don't they?
Yes, sir. They'll be watching you.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch them.
Okay, very good. Just checking.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, now, number 5, where are we going?
Well, this is just a miscellaneous thing. This is some of the smaller things that you notice around the pool.
Okay.
Like trip hazards, if there's anything. Some places are not quite as nice as some of these concrete decks, and they'll have wood spacers inside the concrete. Sometimes they're elevated a little bit. You know, they cause trip hazards.
Oh, yeah, well, the wood itself is coming up out of the
Yes, sir.
concrete a little
Yeah,
bit?
It gets a little bit old, wet, and drying, and it tends to pop up a little bit. Just familiarize yourself with things like that. There'll be some of our older pools have where they used to have a diving board. Maybe they put in some type of railing or something around it. It causes a trip hazard. A lot of these people have addressed them by putting lifeguard stands over them so people don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Some of your fill spouts that they use to fill to the pool, you know, they'll put something over it so kids won't be running around the pool deck and trip over it and things of that nature.
Okay, so just be aware of the lay of the land.
Yes, sir.
Just
Yes,
look for trip hazards. And
Yeah.
look for things lying around, too, that you might,
Yes, sir.
drink bottles or something like that could roll under you.
Yes, sir, that is correct. One of the other things is kind of one of my pet peeves, but our ladders that we have here. There's cushions on the back side of the ladder, and these steel tubing ladders here.
These ladders?
Yes, sir. There will be a cushion on the back side of these ladders.
All right.
If you walk with me over here.
Okay, we're going to walk over here. Sorry to put our backs to the camera there like that, but...
We like to come by and make sure that these are secure and in place, which they are.
Okay.
And there's cushions located on the back side on the pool wall of these tubings, and you might not can see them on camera, but what we have here is when these cushions fall off, you have an open tubing, and I like to think of it as kind of like a cookie cutter. So you don't want anyone to stick their hand behind it, and then if someone was to step onto the ladder, you would have a cutting action.
Okay,
there.
now where would this cushion be?
This cushion is located right up against the wall. It's the white cushions that you see down here,
Right here.
on the back side of the ladder.
On the back side.
On the very bottom.
The very bottom.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's at the very bottom of this this ladder. And they press up against the wall. It's what secures the ladder against the wall.
I see.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Sure. Okay.
And we like to make sure those are in place because there is a cutting feature there that could happen.
Okay, so that's a pet peeve of yours.
Yes, sir. I always look for those.
Okay. All right, very good.
And that's pretty much the majority of the things that anybody could come into a pool and look for.
So just make sure that as you do enjoy a swimming pool, this time of year especially, that you keep safety in mind. That's the most important thing, right?
Yes, sir. Always be aware of your surroundings.
Be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that there's nothing around that you can trip over. Make sure that your own items are out of the way.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to trip over those or cause an accident for somebody else. And you want to make sure that as you're walking around the pool deck area, that there's nothing in the way that would cause you to trip. What do? You tell somebody, hey, is this yours? Get it out of the way. You do that?
Yes, sir. That would be a couple of things we would look for, any type of trip hazards. But
Okay.
general things around the pool, most people are going to clean up. Nobody wants to see their kids having an accident on the pool
That's
deck.
right. Nobody wants to see anybody having an accident. And of course, look for a lifeguard and or the flotation device and the shepherd's hook.
Yes, sir.
And just have a good time. Enjoy.
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right. My hand is still wet, but we want to thank Scott Lewis for giving us a tour and things to look for as you enjoy the summer at your swimming pool.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.